I just want to say thank you to Bonfire for letting us film in this studio today. Go to bonfire.com.au for a free no obligation consult today. I've had like a massive backlog of guests I've wanted to ask on, but I've been waiting until we've got this studio space before I do it, because I'm kind of like the person where it's like, I want to do it right. I don't want to half-ass something. So it's like, I did like a couple months of duos with Johnny, and then it was like, I've got all these guests, but I'm waiting until I get this so then I can start actually inviting people on, because this is better than a living room.
No, this is a cool space. I like it.
But yeah, how are you? How are you going? You've had a wellness class this morning, you said?
No, I had like a monthly check-in. So on my community, I do, for some of the members, we have like a monthly virtual check-in.
Yeah, nice.
So we'll do like a little Zoom call, and it's just for 45 minutes. People can jump on if they want, and it's just like their time. So I'm there if they want to ask advice, if they want to just get something off their chest, or if they just want to connect with other members. They can use it for whatever they want. So
how long have you been running How to Be Well officially?
5 years, actually. Yeah. I started it in 2019.
Right before the pandemic. So.
Yeah, so into a 6th year, I guess. It was like my first year of uni, I think.
Nice.
Just had left school and like very freshly diagnosed with mental illness, and it was just all very foreign to me. And it kind of like came about because I was just thinking, when I got diagnosed, it just opened up a lot of doors for help seeking, and I felt like a whole weight come off my chest. It helped me so much.
Like the gratitude of helping other people?
Like when I got like diagnosed, like it just created like a lot of clarity for what I was feeling.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
And I kind of, because before that, it was just like a bunch of emotions and feelings. And I was just like, what is all of this? Like I had never experienced or received like any sort of education on mental illness besides that it exists. And like I didn't really know signs to look out for, symptoms, and I was just kind of going through it all. And then I didn't know like the next steps to take. I didn't know how to seek help.
Oh, right. So I meant like starting the How to Be Well.
Yeah.
If that has helped with your mental health from helping other people. I didn't mean getting diagnosed, my bad.
Like has that helped?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't think it's helped with my mental illness like by itself, but I think my mental illness has helped me feel like more empowered to help other people experiencing that.
Gotcha.
So like I guess at a start it did kind of, because it just started with me just kind of openly sharing what's been going on and like what I've been feeling.
Which is very brave to do as well.
Thank you. Which was really scary at the start, but now I've just gotten so used to it that sometimes I honestly forget that it's not so normal for other people to be so open, because it's just so natural for me now. But I mean, that'd be awesome if everybody in the world got so comfortable just sharing what's been going on with their lives. But I guess at the start it was cool because I guess it was like kind of a form of journaling for me, like a bit of a mind dump to just like get it all out and then release it. But now I feel like it's taken a little bit of a step back from that. Like I still try to be really genuine and authentic and be really open and share with everybody what's been going on to try and just normalize it. But I am trying to like offer a lot of other support and advice and direction, because I am a lot more educated on that sense of it now. So I want to share that education with other people. So yeah, I think in some senses it has helped with my own mental illness as sort of like a journal and a mind dump. But yeah, I think it's like really created an ability to help other people and for me to feel like I need to help other people now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, in a way, would it be something that you wish you had when you were starting to go through all of this, and that's kind of why you've done it, so other people can have that?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I know when you first start experiencing symptoms, like, it can feel so isolating, so confusing, and just like really overwhelming. So I just like, especially with my new community as well, I really created that just to help narrow it down and try to make it a little bit more simpler for people, and to just have like one space to go to, whether it's that chat space and they just want to chat to somebody or get something off their chest, or whether it's the um, service locator, so they can go to the drop down whatever state they're from. They can click what challenge they're experiencing. So whether it's AOD, whether it's they're part of the LGBTQI community, whether they're youth or young mums, they can click on a section like that, and then that will just take them to a list of services that are available for them in their area for their challenge, and hopefully reach out for the support that they need.
How do you make the jump from where you are to starting that sort of community then?
I've really been wanting to, for a while, like, create something more from How to Be Well other than just like an Instagram page.
Yeah, nice.
And I would love to do it full time. So obviously you have to create some sort of, I guess, benefit to people in the community. So I just kind of brainstormed and came up with this idea. I kind of like looked into what the barriers were for people to seek mental health support, and the most common one that people were saying was either like a lack of knowledge, finances, obviously, because mental health support is very, very expensive, or if you want public support, then wait lists can be super lengthy.
I didn't know there was wait lists for.
Yeah, so for like private support, there'll probably be wait lists for like maybe a month or a couple of weeks, just depending on the service. But it can be very, very pricey. Medicare does rebate a certain amount, but still after that rebate, it can be a lot of money coming out of some people's pockets.
Yeah.
And then there is like public support. There's a lot of public support, but referring and then wait lists can be up to like 3 to 6 months, even over a year sometimes, especially for like diagnoses of like ADHD or ASD. It can be waiting for years to get a diagnosis that could then really help them receive other funding for support, or receive other service support. So yeah, wait lists, accessibility, finances, and just like a lack of sense of community, kind of the barriers that people are experiencing.
Community is a massive one, because just by the sound of how you're describing all that, it sounds isolating having to go to all those appointments and stuff, whereas if you met with other people as well, that would help, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's I guess like one of the things that I experienced as well when I first was experiencing my symptoms was like I just felt so alienated, and I'd never heard of anybody else experiencing the things that I was, because no one really spoke about it.
Yeah.
And so I just assumed that I was the only one that was going through these things, and I didn't know who to approach or how to approach somebody else for support. And if I had a community around me of people experiencing similar things, it's just really validating, it's really reassuring, and it can provide a lot of hope to people if they can hear other success stories of people being able to recover and move past these challenges, or even if people have been able to manage those symptoms a lot better. It just provides a lot of hope for people to continue seeking that support, or to continue reaching out, or to just keep pushing forward to the next day, and keep trying and, giving it their best shot, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I guess it really is providing like real value to people who almost feel lost then and do feel alienated, because community is so important at the end of the day. Like whether it's your local footy club or it's like just your group of friends. Like if you don't have that, the world can just like...
It just like closes in on you, and you just feel like you're all alone. And I mean, as human beings, we are created to be tribal people. So we are tribal animals, and we are meant to be in communities. If you think back to like
Sapiens.
caveman days, we used to like hunt in our tribes. Like the men would go out hunting, the women would stay home and they would do all their I don't know, cook the food, look after the children, whatever they were doing back in the caveman days. I don't know.
Back in the caveman days, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. When it comes to like some of the things that you've noticed really help within the community, like running programs or classes, is there anything in particular you've noticed is like really, really good at helping?
Yeah.
Just touching base, talking.
I mean, the community offers like a number of spaces. And I think depending on the individual, everyone experiences things differently and different things are going to help different people.
I like that.
Yeah, so no one's going to be experiencing the same thing, and someone might get benefit from one space and someone might get benefit from the other space. But I think the two that have really or received most feedback is the daily messages. So every day I write up a little motivational or quote or like a reminder of just something super simple to just be like reminder you're not alone.
Like
Or
what was today's one, for example?
I haven't actually done today's.
Sorry. What was yesterday's one, for example?
I'll get it up because I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm just like
Well, yeah, you'd have one every
spewing them
single
out
day.
all the time. But I do really enjoy like thinking of them. Yesterday's was make sure you engage in some energy givers today. Ideas, reading, getting out of nature, dancing, music, meditation, sleep, sunshine. Just because I feel like we engage so much in energy takers and we're always giving to people. We forget to do the things that give us energy to then charge us up so that we can give our best out. The day before, so they like really changed. The day before is you are the best version of yourself. There's no one else like you and that's so special. So it's just like little reminders like that. And, sometimes I'll get like comments on them and they'll be like, I really needed to hear this today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the main idea behind that is to just get a random little pick me up throughout your day. Whatever day it is. Sometimes it's like reminder to take a step back, relax your shoulders, unclench that jaw, like it's going to be okay. And then the other one is the weekly encouragements. So each week I'll set a theme, and basically the point of them is to encourage healthier coping mechanisms or emotional regulation to help manage those overwhelming situations and symptoms. So, for example, last week we did self-care bingo. So they get
self-care bingo.
Yeah, so they get given a card or like a bingo sheet and it has all these self-care activities and
right.
yes, and then they have to try and cross them off so they reach like bingo throughout the week.
That's cool.
And that's just to try and encourage you engaging in more self-care activities to look after yourself. This week is we're focusing on like self-love. So they have to write, I give a prompt out each day and they have to write an answer to that prompt on a Post-it note. And then they have to stick the note on like their mirror or their door, wherever they're going to see it. So just remind them of like all the great things about them. So like one of them could be like, what is one thing you're most proud of today? Or what's your favorite thing about your personality? Just to really activate those thoughts of yourself, because like some of the hardest things is to think about like the great things about yourself. It's easy to think about the things you like about somebody else, but what about yourself?
Like harshest
worst
judge.
enemy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really trying to shift that mindset and to really generate those self-love thoughts. And they're super cool. I really enjoy creating them. They are probably the most time-consuming part of the community. But I think, they're creating like great reminders or just like little encouragements. I call them encouragements instead of goals because the word goals can sometimes intimidate people.
Yeah, okay.
And turn them away. And if they feel like they don't achieve it, then it can be quite disheartening. So I use encouragement so people can kind of practice a little bit more self-compassion, where it's like, if you get it done, you get it done. Like, great job. And any effort is celebrated. And if you do it on Wednesday, but not any other day, like that's still amazing that you've tried to do something for yourself, you know,
Yeah.
and you've tried your best to implement these sorts of things into your life. And then again, like the more you practice and the more you push it, the easier it will become. And then the better you're going to get at it. So
Absolutely.
any effort is celebrated. So I think it's really cool.
I like how you like the energy givers. Like I like that concept. Like I've noticed because I try to read before I go to sleep for like the last half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah, cool.
And like even if I'm reading non-fiction, like I always just feel so good after reading. I feel like I've done something right.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then it helps me go to sleep easier as well. I fall asleep so much better.
Yeah, I think like energy givers are often like things that will release like that dopamine, that sense of achievement, but in a healthy way. So
It's not like a rapid dopamine spike. It's like the gradual release.
Yeah, dopamine's like a hard one to nail as like, obviously it's one of your 4 happy hormones, but it's very easy to get an unhealthy dopamine fix.
That's how everything's structured these days.
Yeah, so even in the community, we do a dopamine detox. That's one of the like encouragements where we try to like step away from those unhealthy dopamine hits and then we try to replace them with a healthy dopamine source. So, which is honestly one of the hardest encouragements I think that I put out there, but it can be really beneficial in like the sense of satisfaction and achievement. But yeah, so obviously like we can get dopamine from all those things like gambling, phone, like porn and all that sort of stuff. Like that generates an unhealthy dopamine fix, and that's where like addiction can come into play. But then we can replace them with like anything that gives you a sense of achievement will release that dopamine. So even if you just go on a walk and you like set yourself a goal on that walk to, I don't know, pick 7 flowers or something, or spot 7 birds, or just like anything, if you set yourself a little goal, like you're going to feel good about achieving that.
Like making your bed first thing in the morning.
Yeah. You're like, you've got that done. Like it's a sense of achievement. You're going to get like a little dopamine kick.
It's like, do you do like a lot of reading?
Yeah.
Like, have you read Atomic Habits?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like habit stacking with like positive things that make you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. All those little tiny little behaviors that are then going to create like that big
and
impact.
Compound together. Yeah. Well, I've got 2 phones, one's for the pod and one's just like my day-to-day phone.
Oh, cool.
But I've put like all my social media, like Instagram and TikTok, because I don't really use TikTok, but I have it for posting. But Instagram, which is like the main social media I guess everyone uses these days, I've got it on this phone and then I'll have it in the cupboard in my house. Yeah. So I like, unless I'm going on at the end of the night to check podcast messages or to upload stuff, I'm like only on Instagram now like 15 minutes a day if that.
Wow, that's impressive.
No, but my mental health is so much better because of it. It's like I've just noticed I'm so much more present in just what I'm doing. And not only that, I get so much more done now.
Yeah.
Like before I'd find I get home from work, I'd go exercise or whatever and then come home and have something to do and I just get trapped on reels for 2 hours. And
your productivity
feels so miserable.
Crazy, yeah. Yeah, that's honestly impressive. I'm such a sucker for a doom scroll. Like,
it's the worst. But every now and then, like, now when I try and upload stuff, I always find myself like half an hour just like on Instagram reels of what someone sent me. Because you know how, like,
and then you can continue to flick through.
People send you reels and you accidentally swipe through, and then you're not even looking at the next ones they've sent you. You just back on your It's a trap. It's a trap.
That happens to me. I have this one friend. She sends me so many reels, and I'll click on one reel, and then I'll end up scrolling, and I'm like
an hour to get through like 5 reels she sent.
I'm like, oh my God, I haven't checked the other ones. I'll go into the next one and scroll through.
I've definitely noticed my mental health has been better with less social media.
That's so good. Social media is so tricky.
It's like a double-edged sword.
It really is. And like, last year I worked in like peer support. So youth peer recovery, where I'd go out to them in the community. So we do outreach and, try to prevent relapse and encourage, positive life changes and set goals and things like that. And, obviously in this generation, like social media is such a big thing and it creates such a big impact on your mental well-being. Well, your perception of reality, your perception of self. And the others around you. Like self-comparison's crazy. I'm so bad with like comparing myself to others. But one thing that I find is you can really generate your own For You page. So your For You page, like obviously is things that like Instagram or Meta or whatever,
The
algorithm thinks that you're going to interact with. And so based on what you search, it's going to then give you more of. So if you're finding like that your feed is like filled with like Instagram influencers
or sport
or
so
it's
many
because
different
it's
categories.
what you've like interacted with. So if you find that your algorithm's really, really being detrimental for your mental health, you can kind of try to switch it up. So if you like, for example, search motivational quotes or mental health or, you know, body positivity, things like that, the more you search that and engage with that, then the more it's going to feed you that. And then
they're
you
cool
don't.
as well. Like the motivational ones. I've noticed I've got 2 different algorithms because I've got one for the podcast and one for my personal.
Yes.
And the one for the podcast is like all these creative things, how to use all the new AI stuff coming out. And it's just like all these wild videos that I'm like just constantly saving to go look back later.
Yeah.
And then my personal one will go through like the brain rot stuff, but it'll also go through the motivational stuff every now and then.
Interesting, yeah.
And sometimes I'll find I'll hop on like my personal, like say like 8 o'clock at night. Just like to scroll for 15 minutes. And then like it'll be like all the motivational stuff telling you to get off your phone. So like straight away I'm just being told get off your phone, get off your phone. And actually it's good. It's good to kind of have that reminder.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can get so fixated on just.
Yeah, I think mine's like, I definitely have 2 different feeds as well. Like my How to Be Well like feed is all just like body positivity, motivational, like hope giving, and also like very like creative like hooks and like things to like get people engaged with your content and things like that, which I find like really cool, and I'll scroll through and you know I'll really enjoy that. But then as soon as I switch over to my main, I'm getting like all that influencer stuff, and or I'm either getting like stupid videos that I think are so funny, and I'll like end up like
sending them to your friends.
Yeah, like loud cackling in my room and things like that, which I don't mind. Like it makes me feel good, especially if I am flat. It's a good distraction.
I think it's better to do it at the end of the day than first thing though.
Oh, for sure.
There's something about like waking up and having your own thoughts to yourself. Like I'll purposely try not to be on my phone between when I wake up and get to work, because it's just like if I am, it just like I just feel miserable. Whereas if I don't, I get left alone with my own thoughts, which I think is quite healthy.
Yeah, I think I definitely check my phone like first thing in the morning just to see if I've received like any notifications.
Oh yeah, I open the home screen, but I like won't really go into it.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't really like scroll until after work. But I think the only reason I don't do that is because I start work at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh right.
So I like wake up at the most possible latest time.
What do you do for work?
I'm a fitness instructor.
Oh nice.
Yeah. So random. But
you like run classes like early on?
Yes.
It kind of speaks a lot about who you are as a person, because fitness instructor helping other people. And then the other stuff is helping other people as well. So it's kind of like you kind of know what you're doing in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I like to help people. Yeah.
Well, I know earlier this year you went to Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Was that for business or for the half marathon that you did?
That was for business, but not my business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was for my partner, Sam, his business.
Shep, is it?
His name's Sam, but his last name's Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
So that's where Shep comes from. A lot of people don't actually realize his name isn't Shep.
Sam, we'll say Sam.
Yes. But yeah, for so long, like even I didn't even know what his real name was. Confession. But yeah. Or I like kept forgetting and I was like, what's his name? And then I just would never know. But it's Sam. So he's like very into fitness, which is we met at a run club. So that's kind of how we met. And he's into like obstacle course racing. So like Ninja Warrior type stuff. And he's very fast, very fit. And he got kind of like scouted, I guess. But they had this competition in Dubai called the Dubai Games, which is like this unique race, which is like a mix of everything. So it's like super hybrid, except it's not really running, but otherwise in a lot of aspects it's like very hybrid, where people from cities from all over the world come to compete in this competition.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Crazy prize money.
Did you win?
No, that's a whole other story.
Sorry.
But you do it in a team. So there's a team of 5, I think there was, and they've got, I think there was 5 obstacles as well. So basically they come in, they compete in these obstacles, which is like the most randomest stuff you could ever imagine. The prince, well, one of the princes of Dubai runs it, like it's his thing. He makes it. So he
got
chooses
like tigers and all the bougie animals and like.
No. But he like makes all the obstacles. So the obstacles, like there's always like one which is like the human ladder, which is like he always has it in.
Made of humans?
So no, it's like this wall that's like this steep and there's water coming down it. And I don't know how tall it is, but it's quite tall. And basically as a team, they have to get everybody up this ladder.
Yeah,
or
right.
up this flat wall, like with water coming down. So they like have to like stack each other on top of each other, then climb up each other. So that one's always there. And then all the other obstacles change.
You weren't doing it though, you were watching.
No, I was just there for support. But yeah, so he got scouted by the prince to come join and compete for Team Dubai.
It's pretty cool to be scouted by like a Dubai prince.
Yeah. And
Damn.
it was pretty sick. And so yeah, they flew us both over, like popped us in accommodation, and yeah, he was there obviously training every day and stuff. And so I had a lot of free time and I was like, this is my time. I'm going to create something from How to Be Well, which is where I actually set up the community.
Yeah, right.
So in Dubai, I was, working like maybe 8 hours a day, building up this community,
What's it like
adding
building an app?
resources. I would say it's not really like, I didn't like code it or anything. So it's kind of like I run it through like a third party, I guess. So I just had to sign up and then fiddle around, explore a bit, see what it kind of offers.
The vision kind of like the part that was time consuming is building what
is like
it's
adding
gonna
all the
offer
spaces and then gathering resources and just like adding every like little bit, the design and things like that. Which was super time consuming, but
like glad
I got there.
you got it done.
Yeah. And it was really cool. It was a good way to spend my time. I was feeling like I was productive.
So it's pretty recent.
Yeah, the community.
Yeah.
It went live in Feb. So it's been a few months. Yeah.
No, that's so
Trying
cool.
to grow and push it out there.
So what's like kind of the plan with scaling it, I guess? Just like, is there a capacity that you'd reach and you're like, it's too hard to help more people, or is it kind of like unlimited resources, whereas the more people you get, the more you can scale it?
I think like I have a goal where I'd love like 500 members.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But I think it's also a space where it doesn't really matter how many people are in there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So as many people that are in there as possible.
The more the better.
Yes, but because the spaces in there are very like self-managed by the person using it.
Okay.
So I kind of like publish it. I give like, for example, I publish or I create the wellness encouragement on like a Sunday each week, and then I schedule it. So each day it pops up a new prompt or whatever, and then the person using the app then will click on the app and they can access it and then just do it themselves. And then they can comment or like react to things and that sort of thing. And then obviously the group chat. So there's group forums where people can have a space to just like chat with people. They can use themselves, so they can anytime post in there if anything's on their mind or they need advice on anything.
That's cool.
They can do that, and then other people can respond to that, offer their advice or relate to their experience. So obviously the more the better for that, because then there's more people to be able to relate and share and connect. But then in an aspect of, because obviously lots of things like chat spaces where people can freely write what they want,
It's got to be like a
needs
positive,
to be managed.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever had bad interactions with that?
no, not yet. I don't think it's big enough yet, and a lot of people that are in the community are very supportive and empowering of each other.
Because that would be the most important thing almost.
Yeah, so it's an awesome space, but it's kind of inevitable that was like inevitable that in the future
It's
it
bound to
probably will happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be a super simple fix as long as I can kind of manage it, and other members, like if they
You
think
can also have
something's
like moderators.
yeah, if something's they feel is inappropriate or is triggering or could be triggering for other members, they can report it, and then it goes to me. It like gets unseen, and then it goes to me, and then I can then like remove it. And I've set like strict guidelines, so when they sign up, I like make sure that the guidelines are clear on the community, and it's like, you know, be compassionate, um, be understanding, be respectful of other people's experiences, and all of that sort of stuff. And so they're aware of the guidelines. I'll give them one warning, and then if they keep going against the guidelines, then it's very easy for me to remove them from the community.
No, that's really cool. I guess one of the things I did want to talk about, and you probably could help me here, is I'm struggling at the moment just like figuring out the perfect balance between kind of time to myself versus social interaction to kind of like have kind of a rest.
Yeah.
Like, you sound like you're very busy with like your fitness from first thing in the morning, and then I'm assuming the moment you finish that, you're just working on your business afterwards.
Yeah.
Like when you do finally have time to yourself, how do you prioritize being social versus like having your own time?
This is so funny because literally on the check-in, this is what people were talking about.
Today.
Yeah. So I've already had a fat chat about this morning, which is good because it's fresh in my mind. But I'm going to go like super broad to start. Like it's super individual. Like you have to learn about yourself and understand your limits and your boundaries, and then be really strict and hold yourself to those boundaries. So we were talking about like social batteries, and obviously people,
Introvert, extrovert.
yeah, and people have different charges on their social battery, right? So some people can last hours and hours in the social situation and have no worries. Whereas like some people like myself can like probably go out in a social situation that's a little bit uncomfortable, where I like don't know the person or the people around so well.
Like a podcast.
Yeah, I feel like podcasts are okay because it's one-on-one, where it's like a group environment for me is really really
gotcha.
overwhelming.
Gotcha.
I can probably last like an hour or two max, and then I'm really pushing myself. I'm uncomfortable, like I want to go home, like socializing is a big effort. And in the past, I would really push myself past that because I'd be like, don't be lame, don't be boring. And I'll try to keep up with all these like socialites that are going out and staying out till like after midnight and whatever, that can just
I don't like
last
that.
to the morning, right? And I would just drain myself so low that I would need like a day or two to like fully recover. Whereas like now I've like learned through like, I think spending time with myself as well, I've learned my boundaries and my limits, where I can go out and I can start to feel those feelings where I'm like getting a bit irritable, getting impatient, tired. And I can be like, right, this is my time to check out. Like, see you guys. And I'll literally just like leave the environment, because I know that if I push myself further, it's just going to be more and more detrimental. And so I think with learning yourself and how to balance between social life and time by yourself is going to be super independent to you, and learning to understand yourself and then putting in like those strict boundaries where it's like, yeah, I can feel myself getting drained right now. I'm going to check out and recharge that battery. And then when you recharge that battery, then you know that you can give more of yourself to others, right? So you're offering so much more value in that situation, rather than kind of like a half-assed effort where you're like trying to be social, but like the conversation's not clocking, and it's like
the guy that owns this health clinic, Man Health, Lloyd Evans, is a friend of the show. He's been on a few times. His like favorite saying is, be selfish to be selfless.
Exactly.
So that you can give the best version of yourself to everyone else. But like in order to do that, you got to prioritize things like your mental health so that you can be fully present there to help other people.
And then in that as well, you've really got to like sit down and lay down what your priorities are. Is your priority being social and having lots of friends, or is your priority looking after yourself and making sure you have energy to be able to offer to others when you do leave the house, and having that energy to look after yourself so you prevent burnout?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I follow this psychologist, Julie, and she actually created like a really cool analogy. She does really cool videos of concepts and making them more visual. And basically, right, in life, we're told to balance all these things, like especially through uni and school, like balance school life, get 8 hours of sleep, socialize, have time by yourself.
It's too much.
Work out. It's just like all of these things. So you have like a number of cups, and then you have your cup, which is full at the start of the day.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes,
I think
right?
I've seen this. Yeah.
And then throughout the day,
you're pouring
little bits into this cup. But then what happens when you have no more water left, right, to pour into these things, and you're still trying to pour into these things, and you're just dry, like you can't give anything else. And then there's nothing left to give to yourself. So you've got to be able to work out, what spaces do I need to pour into this week? What spaces can I maybe neglect a little bit this week so that I have something left over to give to myself at the end of the day or at the end of the week?
When you do have time to yourself, like what do you do to recharge then? Like what are some of the things that you can do to help with that?
Again, it's like individual. It's what you like to do.
Are there any I know it's individual, but like common sort of ones in your community that you've noticed like tend to work for most people?
Yeah, I think like movies, watch your favorite movie, sit down on the couch, switch off, art, or like some sort of like mindful activity. So for myself, I'm really into like paint by numbers or coloring in.
Paint by numbers, yeah. I've done that once with my girlfriend. Like, it just takes so long.
But it's great.
She loved it.
But that's such a great example of like what works for you will work for you and maybe not for other people.
Yeah, she loved it. And for me, it's like we've been painting for an hour and it's cold outside now. And it's like, let's just go watch a movie.
Yeah. Whereas like for me at the end of the day, like I love to either like switch off and just like cuddle on the couch with my partner, we'll watch a movie and we'll eat digestives and milk. That's like our go-to. Whereas like if I'm by myself, so he's not around, it's the middle of the day, sometimes, I'll grab my colouring in book and I'll do colouring. It's just something where you feel like you're really going to be engrossed into that moment without being distracted by outer thoughts, and you can focus on just giving your energy into this one thing to reset, recharge, and then, come out with a fresh outlook.
I think I know my one.
What?
Chick flicks. Like movies like Crazy Stupid Love, like movies like that where I can just like switch
off, right?
Not have a single thought in the world about a million things going on and just like watch like a happy ending sort of rom-com. And it's just like...
It's so good. I can definitely get around that. I can get around so many things. Like for some people it might be reading, some people it might be going out for a walk. For me as well, I love to just lie outside in the sun on the grass
Bit of
and
vitamin
just do
D.
nothing. Vitamin D, I get the worst winter depression because I'm not getting vitamin D. Like, it's crazy how much of an effect vitamin D and the sun has on your mood and your serotonin production.
And even doing it like first thing in the morning as well, just getting like your sunlight in the first 15 minutes of
waking up. That's because it's going to switch off that melatonin production. It's going to wake you up and you're going to be ready to go for the day.
Circadian rhythm in check.
Yeah. We're activating all of that sort of good stuff. But yeah, lie down in the sun. Some people might be just like having a cuddle with their pets.
I've seen that like patting pets releases a bunch of really good chemicals or something in your brain.
I don't know exactly what you're thinking, but I know that it could, and it does release oxytocin, which is our love hormone, which is one of the 4 happy hormones.
So what are the 4 happy hormones for the audience and myself?
So oxytocin, which is known as your love hormone. So you can get that from cuddling, patting your pets, talking to a loved one, just like human connection, connecting with other people. There's dopamine, which we talked about earlier, which is your reward hormone. So you're going to get that from like completing a task or getting something done. There's serotonin, which is like your happy hormone, which is released when like the sun helps production. A lot of things help with serotonin, really. But yeah, sun is like really my number one source of serotonin. And your last one's endorphins, which is the body's natural painkiller, which is like released with
like a runner's
exercise.
high?
Yeah, so your endorphins are like released because obviously when you are doing exercise, like your body is under stress. It can feel like kind of painful and it will activate like that fight or flight response. And so to kind of like help with that, like your endorphins will be released, which is why it's called like your natural painkiller.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I do a bit of running. I've only picked up running towards like last year, but I've been doing quite a bit of running, and I've noticed like it's not so much while I'm running, but the feeling after I've gone for a run. It's just like, and like even going to the gym, and my housemate says like he doesn't understand this, like he's the complete opposite. But it's like I'm not a big fan of like actually running or actually swimming.
I hate running.
Even going to the gym, like I'm starting to enjoy it more because it's become part of my routine. But it's like
that after feeling.
I love doing it, hating it, and doing it anyway. And I love the feeling of doing something I've hated and like getting over that obstacle, like swallowing the frog.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're probably getting endorphin and dopamine from doing that because you've done something that you find challenging and you've finished it. And so that's when the dopamine's going to release.
Have you heard about what's it called? The mid-singular prefrontal cortex, or like, you know Huberman, the like sciencey podcaster guy, Andrew Huberman, the neuroscientist?
No.
He talks about it all the time. It's like there's this area in your brain that grows from like willpower, like doing things that you don't want to do and doing them anyways. It's like a muscle.
Interesting.
And like it's got one of the like biggest correlations between that and like all-cause mortality, like living longer. It's like almost like the willpower to live, and you're training that willpower.
Yeah, that's
so it's
so
like
cool.
The moment you stop like growing, you start dying. Like it's like you constantly got to be improving or learning. And
yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
I'll have to show you it afterwards. But
yeah.
No, I can't believe you haven't heard of Huberman. He's like...
The name rings a bell. Honestly, I'm not like massive into podcasts.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't like listened to that many.
I kind of have to be. It's like...
Yeah, that's so fair. But yeah, I understand how like some people enjoy them for sure. But I just like...
I do it at work. Like I'll listen to them while I work.
Yeah, interesting.
It kind of just passes time.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like I feel like I want to be switched on if I'm like learning or like listening to someone, you know? I've heard like people like listen to them to switch off.
I can't do audiobooks. Like I have to physically read a book. Like if I do an audiobook, like it's great, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's interesting. It's crazy how like things work for certain people and they don't for other people.
Well, it's interesting how it's like such a long format of content in such a dopamine, like attention span, like world today.
Yeah.
Like everything's like meant to grab your attention in 3 seconds. Otherwise like you're scrolling.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then like people sit down for hours and talk, and it's just like, it's fascinating to me how people will like go and listen to that when they're hardwired the opposite way.
Yeah. It's crazy. But back on the happy hormones as well, which is why like I know a lot of people like talk a lot of crap about run clubs, but the benefit from run clubs in like a mental health sense is pretty cool.
It's the best.
If you think about all of those like feel good hormones, because you're going to get all four in that one thing. Whereas you're connecting with humans, you're going to get that oxytocin because you're doing something with someone else. You're going to get that dopamine from completing the run. You're going to get that serotonin for being outside in nature. And then you're going to get those endorphins, obviously, from running and exercising and getting that heart rate up. No,
100% agree.
Yeah.
We used to talk about this on the pod all the time because one of our friends, Fletcher Gardner, who's running his own sort of like neuroscience Instagram page, like we're really good friends with Fletch, like went to school with him and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like we had like our own little run club before he went to Melbourne for...
Yeah, actually I saw that once.
I might have been there.
I didn't go there.
Oh, like you saw us
I saw it on
talking
his
about.
Instagram
Yeah.
because I follow him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I love, like, shout out Neurotify. But it's like starting your day with a positive interaction, going and doing something hard, like going for a run. But then also what we'd do, because we do it at COP, we'd go for a dip afterwards.
Yeah.
And just get like the fresh water on you. Like we'd talk about it on the pod. We've talked about it on the pod quite a few times, but it's like not a better start to the day.
Yeah.
Like you're getting up early, you're going and doing something hard, you're getting some good social interaction, going for a dip, like social chat afterwards with a coffee. It's just like, it really like is the best start to a day that I've experienced, I reckon.
Just like such small little lifestyle changes that can just create the biggest impact. And I think that's what some people don't realize. It's just like small little changes could really honestly change your whole life around, you know? Like, it doesn't take much. And I think people think that it's going to be like all these big new things that they're going to have to implement that are going to take so much effort. But it's literally like going for a walk first thing in the morning, getting outside, whether it's a 10 or 15-minute walk, like it doesn't have to be long, but just doing that small little thing could have so much impact and could literally change the whole course of your day.
Yeah. It's like in James Clear Atomic Habits, it's like the decisions, and it's like when you choose the like right decisions, you go up, and when you choose down, it like declines your day with your dopamine.
Yeah.
What are some other ways that you can kind of set your life like in more of a positive direction with things like that you've noticed?
I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is just listen to what your body needs. Like, you'll find things that you enjoy and just to connect with those things. Like for me, again, like I know that I can't handle a whole lot of social time. So I set those boundaries and I know when to clock out. And I listen to that and I'll go and just like disconnect.
Yeah.
Or I'll, go for a walk if I'm feeling flat, or I'll, make sure I go outside and lie in the sun because, I'm feeling like a little bit of a depressive episode coming on. So I know that those things help me and that's what I'm going to do. And with mental health, it's such a trial and error experience and you've got to really try lots of different things. I know it's tough because like you definitely get a little bit hopeless at times when you feel like things just like aren't working, but there will be something for you that will help and that will work. You've just got to try and not give up on having an open mind to trying all of these different types of resources out to find what best works for you. And then once you nail that, then it's going to be so much easier to manage all of those situations because you know that, meditation's going to help me recenter myself. So I'm going to go do that and sit outside and have a 5-minute meditation. Or I'm going to wake up and I know journaling first thing in the morning is the best way for me to start fresh for the day. So that's what I'm going to go do.
I had a guest on, I think 4 episodes ago, Sam Marshall, and he talked about how he's recently started journaling. He was bit of backstory context. He moved from England to here when he was like really young, and then moved like 28 times
Oh my
before
God.
the age of 29, just like as migrants, like finding a place to live and stuff. And like he's talking about how lately he's started journaling.
Yeah.
And like it's like the single like greatest thing for him, like to have like structure in his life, to have clarity and like to actually track progress on like becoming a better human every day.
Yeah. Journaling's a great resource to use. I think a lot of people are scared to journal or don't want to try journaling because it's like a little bit boring or they think it's like a right way to do it. But the amazing thing about journaling is there's no right or wrong way. So, you can use it for so many things, whether it's goal setting, intention setting, finding clarity, whether it's just an emotional dump. There's so many ways you can use that resource and that tool to help you. And then there's so many ways that you can do it. It's really what works best for you. And whether that's writing paragraphs, whether that's dot pointing, whether it's doing a brainstorm, whether it's drawing, whatever way you can kind of let those thoughts and those feelings out onto a page and out into the world is the right way to do it. What suits you?
I guess for me, because I don't do it, it's like the biggest thing for me is like starting, I guess. Like how do you start?
You just do it. like just what feels natural. Like,
It's just like, what do I write? I know you just said like all the different things you can do,
yeah.
but it's like, I just sit there and go like, what am I going to write?
Yeah, just think like, I think always the best way to start is just a mind dump and to
Of
just,
all your problems going on in the
not
world.
even that, it's just like write down what comes to your mind. Like if it's, how am I going to start? Write that down. And then if it doesn't make sense, that's fine. Just set the timer for like 5-10 minutes and to just write down anything that pops into your mind. And then I think that's just like a nice way to get the thoughts flowing. And then if it helps and you're still stuck, look up like prompts.
I've seen things so it's like
Yeah.
wake up first thing in the morning and write down 3 things you're grateful for.
Yeah. And then again, like it depends what purpose you want to use your journaling for. Like if you want to start journaling for goal setting, if you want to start journaling for intention setting, if you want to start journaling to create direction in your day, then, search up prompts for daily direction. In my community, we do journaling as like one of the weekly encouragements.
Like it's within the app or it's like prompts to go and do it?
Yeah, so within the app, I set them prompts and then they get 3 prompts for the morning, 3 prompts for the arvo, so they can choose if they want to do journaling in the arvo or in the morning.
What do you recommend? What's better?
Again, it's just what works for you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. If you feel like you want to journal in the arvo because you often feel overwhelmed and overstimulated from your day that's just happened, I think it's a great tool to use to reset that mind and kind of get everything out before bed. Or if you are looking for some sort of direction in your day, then I would do it in the morning,
I'm noticing like the theme here is just like what's best for you. Like that's what you kind of got to focus on.
That's the thing with mental health. Like there's no right or wrong thing, it's so individualized and you can't be going around telling people like do this, do that, because it might not be their answer. Just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. And that's something that I always try to preach.
You see a lot of that on social media now as well, unfortunately. Like people saying like, I've done this, so you should do it. And it's all going to work for you. And it's
which is one thing that I'm trying so hard not to fall down, because as much as I love sharing my journey and I love promoting the things that I've done to help
journey,
me.
It's not theirs. Like
I
it's
do
be
that.
Different.
Yeah, exactly. I do that to maybe spark inspiration and to provide hope and to give ideas to people of things that they could try. But I always try to like reaffirm to people that just because this has worked for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. And don't get disheartened if it's not your answer, because there are so many options out there for you to try and there will be something,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess the other thing I was going to ask is like when it comes to your community and like the future with it, do you want it to be like full time for you in the future? Like it's what you enjoy the most?
Absolutely. Like the goal this year was to do How to Be Well full time by the end of this year.
On track?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just trying really hard, and this is probably the first year that I've actually tried to devote a good amount of time to it to make it a full-time thing. I've always had the dream.
Yeah.
But I've never really like dedicated the time to make it a realistic thing. And so this year I I left my part-time job. So now I just work in the fitness training to get kind of a stable income. But that's again split shift. So every day now I have the middle of the day to like fully devote my time into developing this.
That's so cool.
And I love it. And it is 100% my passion. And if I ever got to do this full time and run this community full time, when I get to run my community full time and run my Instagram page full time and just be able to create this empowering, connected group of people that are there to support each other throughout their journey wherever they are, like that's just going to be like the top point for me where I'm like, yeah, this is...
Do you see yourself staying in Perth or like would you go and live somewhere else in the world?
I think I think I'm always going to stay in Perth. Like, I think this is my home. I love traveling and I love exploring new cultures and seeing all sorts of different parts of the world and connecting with people from all different areas. But I think Perth will always be my home and I'll always come back to Perth. But I think the really cool thing that when I will be able to like do this all online is that I will be able to freely go and do all these things and chase all those like side passions that I have, like traveling, but still be able to connect with this community and empower this community of people to chase their dreams and give them hope and, hopefully create an impact where they feel like there is other solutions to, ending their life if that's the point that they're at and, hopefully save people from suicide and create
that's awesome.
A community of people where they feel comfortable and empowered and safe to reach out for support.
Yeah, awesome. Well, before we finish up, I feel like it'd be kind of cool if, like, for example, say there was like people that are starting kind of at the very start of this journey or are like really struggling right now. Like, what sort of advice would you give them, like if they're like where you were on day one?
Like mentally struggling?
Yeah.
Don't lose hope. It's so easy to lose hope, especially when you are in this dark tunnel and you feel so alone and you can't see the end of that tunnel. It's really easy to lose hope, especially when things aren't working out or didn't work out as you planned. Like maybe you did take that first step to see the psychologist, which is a massive first step, but you didn't connect with them. Don't give up on that. Go try somebody else because there will be somebody out there to support you. And my favorite thing to use at the moment is it's okay if you need to hold somebody else's hand to guide you through that dark tunnel. And if I was able to find that light at the end of the tunnel, it is absolutely possible for you too, and use me as your inspiration and as your hope. I am living proof that it is possible to get out of that dark tunnel and it's possible for you too. So just don't give up. Don't give up. Stay hopeful and reach out for support because there are so many people out there willing and wanting to help you through this.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks very much for coming on. It's been great to get to know you.
You're so welcome.
Where can everyone find you? Where can people see your stuff?
How to be well. At how_to_be_well is Instagram. Most of the things I
will be in the description as well.
Yeah, most of the things I use is through the Instagram. A lot of promotion through Instagram.
You have a link tree?
I have a link tree in the bio on Instagram. I have a event coming up in July.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh, we can, yeah. I haven't dropped tickets yet, but they will be coming in June. The tickets will be released. I have announced the event, so it's affirmations and yoga. So it'll be around self-love. It's part 2 of a series around self-empowerment. And last one sold out, so hopefully this one will be good too.
It's exciting.
But yeah, we'll make affirmation cards based on things that we feel like we need to feel empowered in at the moment. So people get to make their own. It's creative, it's mindful, it's initiating those thoughts of self-love and empowerment. And then we'll do a bit of yin yoga, which is all about connecting to our body and feeling where we are and being present in the moment. So it's going to be a cute little wholesome event. And it's going to be in winter and I really hope it's raining because I think it'll be such a vibe if we're all like sitting cozy inside, raining and just like connecting and So I've got that coming up, but that will all be on Instagram. TikTok as well. But yeah.
Well, thanks very much for your time.
Find me everywhere.
Find you everywhere. I guess good luck with making this your full-time thing this year.
Thank you. Thanks.
It sounds like you're going to achieve it because you're very like mission driven with this. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm a doer, as my partner says. He's like, so cool. Like, you always have these ideas and then like the next day it's in action. I'm like, yeah, well.
The only way to get something
I want to
done
make
is
it happen
by doing it. So
there's never a right time. So
Absolutely.
take that first step now.
Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for your time today.
Thank
I really
you.
enjoyed this.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks very much. See you later.
See you.
And I can never ever. If you get lost, I press the rewind so you don't see now. I know I can tell that you a winner. I'm making key lime cause I was living in the backseat till you bagged me. All my niggas never playing games like we bad street. When she's talking, feel like poetry in motion, and I feel like I'm chosen.